all we heard on the radio was that there was a man down and that another Overwatch position was in heavy contact, and that's all the information that we had. So our initial thoughts were, we need to find out exactly what's going on here, and the team that I was part of was in the best position to do that. So we moved around the reverse side of the slope from the hill that the contact was aimed at, crested the hill, and then we came down, seen the casualty, approached the casualty, returned fire to the enemy. Casualty was treated, and then from there assessed that the next priority was informing the platoon commander as much as I could, because he didn't know what was going on because of the radios. My radio was working, so I went to the top of the hill to try and re-sight a machine gun that was in place on top of the hill in a better position and engage the enemy with that. So those were my two initial thoughts, were to inform the platoon commander, and secondly to return fire to the enemy. You
climbed this hill about 3 times, and you were carrying heavy load on your back. Can you explain what you were doing there?
Yeah, when we came around the hill and we initially seen that there was a casualty, there was a machine gun next to the casualty. On reaching the top of the hill the first time and employing the gun, the initial gun, the first gun against the enemy, informing the platoon commander on the radio, obviously 2 guns is better than 1 against the enemy, so I took some ammunition from the top down to the hill, down to the bottom of the hill, and realised that in fact it would be better off at the top of the hill, so I had to go back up again. And on that particular incident I was in the best position to do that. If it had been any of my mates, they'd be in this position now, in this rather awkward position now of, stood in the centre of London doing this. It's just, the position that you're in at the time, and you just react accordingly.
And is that when the training kicks in?
Yeah, I mean, we're paratroopers, we're well drilled in what we do, and we train for moments like this, to think on your feet. You're taught as an airborne soldier, a member of the parachute regiment, to think on your feet and to think outside the box and to step up to the plate when you have to. This was like one instance amongst many that the regiment's been involved in throughout the conflict and throughout other conflicts as well, throughout its history, that British airborne soldiers, parachute regiment soldiers, we've proved that time and again that we can think outside the box. Relatively young junior people, but you just react to what the situation that you see in front of you.
You seized the situation. Obviously, there were other members with you, as you say. They were all playing their part.
I can't stress that enough. I mean, this is like massively a big thing, like, for everyone who was involved there, and also not just this one patrol action, but having worked with particular people, it's been an honour to serve alongside paratroopers in Afghan. This isn't about me in particular. I don't look at it as being about me in particular. I look at this as representing everyone from my unit, from my battalion, who was involved in the campaign in Afghanistan.